Welcome back to Getting Ready for the New Year, part two. If you haven't done part one, go back and do part one, but we're going to cue the intro and jump right in.
I've spent the last 20 years studying, teaching, and coaching people to find their greatness and take their lives to the next level. Along the way, it's become evident that emotions are at the root of everybody's successes and failures. Worry and fear are the enemies, and it's time to forge the armor and earn the tools to overcome the two things that could single-handedly destroy your future. Hi, my name is Michael Johnson, and I'm a life coach, a peak performance trainer, and I'm the emotions guy. It's time to take back control of how you feel, control of how you act, and control of how you experience life. It's time to become a lifer, a new breed of overachiever focused on living every minute to its fullest. We are responsible for how we feel, and no one and no thing can make us feel anything. Emotional mastery is our journey, and emotional education and intelligence is the key. We are lifers, and this is Magic for Life.
What's up, lifers? Michael Johnson here with the Magic for Life podcast, and I'm excited that you joined me today for part two of Getting Ready for the New Year. And we're going to talk about what to do with the list that you created. Hopefully you created a nice long list of things that you wrote down of all the stuff you want to attain this year. Maybe it was material things, maybe it was a vacation, maybe it was a relationship, maybe it was something about health, maybe you just want to increase your revenue in your business. What do you want? And hopefully you did this. If you haven't done that yet, pause this episode, go back and do that. Listen to the first episode. It's not that long. And do that again for this and get ready. And then you could come back and listen to this one, okay? So we're going to jump right in for part two. So part two is now that you know what you do want, and of course, if you have any leftover of what you don't want, make sure you turn them into what you do want, not what you don't want, right? We want to make sure we don't focus on the stuff we don't want because we might get that more of that. In fact, you may have experienced that in the past. You knew exactly what you didn't want and you kept getting more of it. It's because you had your focus on it. It's because what you focus on, you get. So we've got to be real specific about where it is we're going and what it is that we want. It's pretty simple. We don't have to make this complicated. Know what you want. Now we got to be able to put some focus into it. Now, here's the interesting thing. We're going to take that same paper, maybe one that we can put side by side, or if you're doing it in a journal, that's fine. And I want you to actually take what you did want, right, and all those things, and for every line item on your what you do want, I want you to write down how you would feel right now. How would you feel right now if you had that already? I know we don't have it yet, but how would you feel right now if you had it? That seems kind of crazy. Seems a little different, a little unusual. Maybe it's a direction that you haven't thought of or haven't gone before, but that's okay. Work with me here. We want to write down how we would feel. Okay, how would you feel? Let's say you want a new Ford F-150 truck. Platinum series, black, all the trimmings, large bed in the back, right? The size of the truck bed, not sleeping bed, right? And you know exactly what you want. Now, you got to stop and think for a second. Okay, I know what I want. I have an idea of what it looks like. I know what it looks like because I can see it. Okay, now how do you want to feel when you have that, right? Like you think about that and you say, well, if I had that Ford F-150, I would feel what? What would you feel? What specifically would you feel? And for that one line item, you write it down and you say, well, I would feel this way. I'd feel excited. I would feel excited that I had this truck, okay? I would feel happy. I would be really happy that I got this truck. Okay, yeah, I would feel that way. Okay, and I would know exactly what type of happy because, well, I would know the type of happy that I would feel if I were to get that truck. Okay, I would feel accomplished. Okay, what does that feel like to feel accomplished? Well, I would feel like, gosh, I'd really done this. I had really put my effort out there and I had figured out how to create this in my world and I brought it to life and now it's mine. And that would be a really great feeling of accomplishment. Okay, how else would you feel? Are there any others, right? Would you feel like, oh, I feel like I could do some things that I haven't done before. I would feel a little bit of freedom, right? Because I could now haul things in the back of my truck. Okay, what else would you feel? I would feel like it would represent something about me that maybe wasn't there before, right? What would you feel? Write it down next to that thing. Okay, now that's just a quick example. Maybe it's a computer that you want. Maybe it's a relationship you want to attain. How would you feel right now if you had that thing? How would you feel? I would feel this way. I would feel that way. And you could keep it simple. You can literally write, I would feel, and this could be for, line item 1. And then next to it, you go, I would feel this way. And then you go, I would feel ... and you go happy. And I would feel accomplished. And I would feel excited. And I would feel proud to show my friends that I had this, right? How would you feel? Write those things down. And I'd love for you to do it for every one of the things that you wrote down. You're thinking, every one? That's a lot. I wrote down a lot of things. That's true. You did. I hope you did. I hope you did, because if you didn't write it down, you can't have it, right? If you don't focus on it, you can't get it. All right. So you wrote it down. Now, how do you want to feel? How would you feel, right? And think about that. That's it. It's pretty simple. How would you feel? Write it down, and you'll have a nice list. And that's it for today. That's part 2. We're getting ready for the new year, and we're getting ready in the best fashion possible. Now, it could be with the material things, and I know I did that as an example, but remember, it could be other things, right? It could be other things that you think of, concepts, ideas. I'd love to have better habits for this season of my life. Okay, great. How would you feel if you had those better habits? Think about how you would feel and write it down. I would feel like this. I would feel like this. I would feel like this. I would feel like that. Write down 2 or 3 ways you would feel, because it's probably going to be 2 or 3 ways, right? And easy one is, well, I would feel good. That's an easy one. You'd probably feel good if you got that thing. If you created that thing, if you experienced that thing, you'd probably feel good. But get more specific. How else would you feel? How else would you feel? Okay, don't forget, go do all of this. You're going to have some time. We'll come back with part 3 of this. Part 3 is super important. So make sure you tune in, and we'll get part 3 done together. It's going to be awesome. You're going to love it. Don't forget, go find the magic for life.
Hey lifers, we expect upgrades to the base operating functions of the things like our phones, cars, and even refrigerators. Why then has it not been made a priority that we upgrade the operating systems of our emotional states? We dance around the subject of emotional mastery from a young age. We have so much more knowledge in today's world, yet we're still teaching outdated methods of emotional education, if any are being taught at all. It's time for a change. It's time for an upgrade to our emotional education. Let me help you learn how to do that. Pick up your free copy of Every Minute at everyminutebook.com.